Long ago, in the vibrant village of Guma, surrounded between green hills and golden streams, lived a respected man named Okafor. He was a palm wine tapper, a man of truth and tradition, married to a virtuous woman named Momunjideka. Together they had 3 children, Obina, the eldest son, bold and ambitious, Adobe, the beautiful daughter, graceful like the evening wind, and Chisholm, the youngest, still learning the ways of the world. The Okafor family was known and admired. Their compound echoed with laughter, songs, and the scent of Momunjideka's spicy soup. But as the elders say, not all smiles reveal clean hearts. Obina had returned from the city after 3 years of apprenticeship. He now wore fine clothes and walked like the wind could not touch him. He brought gifts, wristwatches, loud music boxes, and fancy shoes, but also brought with him a spirit that did not belong in Guma village. One evening, as the moon rose and the stars blinked awake, Okafor called a family meeting under the orange tree. He said, "My son, you are a man now. But remember, no matter how far you go, our culture, our values, must never leave your soul. Guard your ways, especially with women. Destruction begins with sweet whispers." Obina nodded, but pride sat heavy in his chest. It began quietly, like a whisper between leaves. At first, Obina would slip out at night, saying he was visiting friends. Then rumors started to bloom like rotten flowers. He had begun to secretly sleep with married women in the village. He lured them with perfumes, city clothes, and lies of love. Even worse, he seduced a widow who was set to marry the village hunter, a scandal too hot for even the gods to ignore. Momunjideka cried secretly, and publicly, she begged Obina, "My son, remember who you are. Your name carries the pride of your father. Do not drag us into shame." But Obina would pridefully say, "Mama, these women want me. I'm not forcing anyone." One day, the village priest summoned Okafor. With a heavy heart, he declared, "Your son has desecrated sacred bonds, 3 homes are broken because of his ways. The gods are angry, a cleansing must be done, or the curse shall fall on your house." Shame wrapped around the Okafor's family like chains. But it was only the beginning. That same week, Adobe fell mysteriously ill. Her eyes rolled, her body shivered, and her skin darkened like ashes. The priest was called. He gazed into the sacred cowrie shells and shook his head and said, "She is innocent, but she bears the punishment of a brother who has defiled the land. Until he repents and the land appeased, the sickness shall grow." Obina refused. Instead of repentance, he ran away again to the city, leaving his family to face the storm. Adobe grew weaker. Okafor wept like a broken drum. Momunjideka refused to eat. The villagers stopped greeting them. People crossed the road when they walked by. Then came the worst day. The widow Obina slept with was found dead, floating in the stream, her stomach swollen. The villagers whispered that it was a spiritual retaliation, a forbidden bond broken. Obina, hearing this from the city, still did not return. One night, a cry rose from the Okafor compound. Okafor was found unconscious, struck by a mysterious force. A fire that no one lit began burning at the edge of the yam barn, yet it refused to spread, just smoked and smoked. Chisholm, the youngest, would wake screaming, "A woman with no face comes to me. She says Obina must pay. She says the family must be cleansed, or we all perish." The elders gathered again. The village priest spoke the words that sealed the truth. He said, "The land has been cursed. Until Obina returns and confesses, the gods will turn their faces. This is no longer punishment, this is judgment." 2 moons later, Obina returned. But not with pride. He was thin, haunted, and restless. The city had rejected him, every woman he chased brought him disaster. He had lost money, friends, and peace. He saw the widow's face in his dreams. He could no longer sleep. He fell before his father's feet, crying. He said, "Papa, forgive me. Mama, I have brought shame. The spirits follow me. I hear their voices. Please, help me." But it was no longer in the hands of man. A purification was demanded. The entire family stood before the villagers at the village square. Obina was made to confess before the whole village. The women he wronged were called, and cleansing were performed. But not all could be repaired. Adobe died 3 nights later. Her body was buried in silence, but her soul, they say, went to the gods with a message: judge the hearts of men, for even one sinner can poison a family. Obina never married. He stayed in the village, living in isolation. Every morning, he would walk around the village barefooted, talking to himself, a reminder of what happens when lust blinds reason. Pa Okafor died years later with a heavy heart. Mama Njideka grew quiet, always looking at the path, as if waiting for the version of her son that never returned. Chisom the youngest grew into a wise man. He became a teacher, using his family's story to warn the young about the fire that comes with touching what is sacred. And so, children, remember, sexual immorality is like honey laced with poison. Sweet at first, but bitter in the belly. One man's pleasure can be a family's curse. Guard your steps, for the spirits watch, and the land remembers. Sexual immorality is not a private act, it carries consequences beyond the moment. One person's actions can affect an entire family. Cultural and spiritual boundaries, once broken, invite judgment. Forgiveness is possible, but some damages leave permanent scars. True manhood is shown in discipline, not in conquest.